Okay. Welcome to Yin, everyone. Bienvenue au cours de ce soir. Si vous venez d'arriver ou vous vous connectez plus tard, pour le cours de ce soir, vous allez peut-être avoir besoin d'une couverture ou d'une serviette pliée, comme ceci, faire un petit pad. Peut-être des blocs ou des oreillers, des coussins que vous avez à la maison. Comme d'habitude, c'est des props qui vont peut-être vous aider dans certaines poses. Si vous ne les avez pas, c'est pas grave non plus. So, folded blanket, blocks if you have, pillows if you have. Bring those lying around. Go ahead and dim the lights. Light some candles if you have. And start to get nice and comfy. I'll meet you in a seated meditation pose. You can cross your legs. You can sit onto your heels. And choose something that's comfortable that you can hold for the next few minutes. Une fois que vous êtes assis, prenez un petit peu de temps, un petit peu de basculer de gauche à droite, de l'avant à l'arrière. Retrouvez votre centre. Ancrez le bas de votre corps. Puis soulevez et faites grandir ou allonger le haut de votre corps. Quelquefois, prenez des inspirations, serrez les épaules vers les oreilles, puis expirez par la bouche pour relâcher, puis éloigner les épaules. Faites ça quelques fois. Inhaling through the nose, squeeze those shoulders up to the ears, and let it out of your mouth. Exhale, let your shoulders drop down, give yourself some space. Let's do that one more time, wherever you are. Inhale, shrug the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, roll them back and down, let it out of your mouth and relax. Settle in. With your eyes closed, relax your tongue and jaw. And I'll give you a little bit of time just at the beginning of our meditation here to scan your body from the top of the head all the way down to your toes, seeing what's maybe holding tension or activated or still like tight and woken up. See if you can relax it and let it go. Sans trop chercher, observez votre corps en ce moment. Puis remarquez peut-être si vous pouvez relâcher un petit peu plus les cuisses. Adoucir les hanches. Relaxer le ventre. Et prenez un petit moment, traversez tout le corps pour relâcher, relaxer, adoucir chaque partie le plus que vous pouvez. And it's the beginning of our yin practice right here, creating awareness, stepping away from whatever we did earlier today and what's to come next in the evening, and start to be right here, right now. In your body, feeling what's going on and observing how you feel in every part of your body today. And now start bringing your awareness away from the body and into your breath. And we often get really tentative when we start to observe the breath, slowing it down or making it deeper. Don't change anything. Just observe. And like you're observing your body here, witness your breath. L'observer. Décrivez votre souffle à vous-même, tellement que vous observez chaque petit détail, la profondeur, la rapidité. Une fois que vous avez décrit tout ça, une fois que vous l'avez bien observé, engagez-vous à suivre 5 cycles de votre souffle. Maybe making your inhale a little bit longer and breathing in all the way to the top. And then exhaling through the nose, but making it a point to exhale all the way to empty. When you feel your belly clench, to let you know there's no more air to breathe out. See if you can do that for 5 breath cycles. And just like we stretch our muscles or fascia and we work our body and muscles when we practice yoga or yin, right now you're making your mind, your brain muscle, your presence muscle a little bit stronger, training it with each breath to be right here, right now. Inhaling all the way to the top and exhaling until you're empty. And for this last part of our meditation, let's take it a little bit more with controlled breath. I'll let you count on your own, but try to inhale for the count of 3, maybe 4. Hold your breath for 2 counts. And then exhale out the nose for the count of 3 or 4, however you wish. And then hold your breath again for 2 counts. And repeating that cycle, counting to yourself in your head. Kumbhaka breathing, breath retention. On commence à ralentir le système nerveux. On commence à informer le cerveau, les organes, que c'est le moment de passer au repos. Inspirez pour 4, retenez pour 2, expirez pour 4, puis retenez pour 2. Repeat a few times, and I'll let you know when to stop. If this is your last round, go ahead and finish it up. And wherever you are, if you're already on the exhale, you can just come back to regular breathing when you're done your next breath cycle and simply observe, again, your inhale and exhale. And today we're going to be working a lot of kind of unblocking certain places and areas in our body that we can feel stagnant. Especially with these times, there's not much to do. We're sitting around, maybe working or just chilling. So tonight we're going to unblock and we're going to work some mobility of our hips. And give us a nice relaxation. Eyes open or closed, you can join your hands to your heart. Stick your elbow out from side to side, puis soulevez votre cœur vers les pouces. Take a moment here if you have an intention, something you want to focus on. It could simply be presence, breath, feel in your body, whatever you need. Now open to the sound of one Om. You can sing along out loud or in your head. Take a nice long inhale for Om. Om. Je vous souhaite une très belle pratique à tous et à toutes. Slowly open your eyes. If I didn't introduce myself, I'm Krystina and I'll be guiding you through a 75-minute yin practice tonight. We're going to meet on our hands and knees in the tabletop position just to wiggle out our muscles. Donc prenez un petit peu de temps ici, les mains en dessous des épaules, les genoux en dessous des hanches, basculez de gauche à droite, à l'avant, à l'arrière. Sans trop y penser, je vous invite à bouger avec la première chose qui vous vient en tête. Peut-être c'est faire des cercles avec les hanches. Peut-être c'est de cat-cow your spine. All we're looking for right now is just waking up the body and moving in whatever way that we feel we need to. And just keep connecting to that deep breathing. That's all I invite for you to do today, is to be aware, to feel your body and to continue really slow breathing, deep breathing. Don't worry, I'll be here to remind you a million times about it. Could feel good to spin the fingers back, So they're pointing to the knees and then leaning a little bit back into your toes so you can stretch the insides of your arms, the forearms, those muscles that we use to carry everything, to text, to type. And if your fingers are flipped, bring them back forward. Revenez dans un dos neutre dans votre table, les orteils retroussés ou les pieds à plat au sol, c'est comme vous voulez. Prenez une inspiration ici par le nez, puis relâchez par la bouche, let it go. And on your next inhale, start to drop your belly, arch your heart up to the sky and look up, cow spine. And stay here on your exhale and think about bringing the back of your head towards your bum. Spread your bum cheeks apart, nice big stretch. Inhale right here. Exhale, bring the belly in, press into the hands, round the shoulders and drop the head, chin into chest. Pressez beaucoup dans vos mains, un petit peu comme si vous voulez déchirer votre tapis en deux. Vous allez sentir dans les omoplates ici. Revenez à un dos neutre. Come to sit onto your heels, sit onto your favorite side, and swing your legs forward. We'll be starting with our legs extended. And this is where you may need a little bit of height. So if you want to be sitting onto your little folded blanket or pillows, or anything of that sort, it could be really comfy. Sit down to the edge of it. And a little trick here for when your legs are extended like this. When you're in your down dog, if you have bent legs, then in this position, you would also have bent legs. You're also in a yin class, so sometimes it's nice to take it a bit easier and bend the legs. Bring your hands on either sides of your hips and flex your toes towards your knees. Sit up nice and tall. And bring some awareness into your spine, almost as if you had eyes in the back of your head looking down your spine. Feel it nice and tall. Bring awareness to your lower back and feel your lower back. If you feel like it's rounding or arching, maybe bend those knees a bit, add some more pillows and blanket. We'll start off in a caterpillar pose to just kind of let us chill and bring some nice stretch into our whole back line of fascia. So with your hands on either side, think of your heart reaching towards your toes and spider crawl your fingers forward. Anywhere. We're here for about 4 or 5 minutes. So you may be at your knees now. Maybe in 2 minutes you're at your calves. And then maybe for the last minute you're holding onto your ankles. Just take your time. If your hands are on your toes and your head is on your knees, perfect. That's awesome too. Essayez de rien forcer ici. Surtout, prenez le temps dans le début de la pause pour vous ajuster, pour atterrir. Ici, on est à 5 minutes avec les épaules dans les oreilles, qu'on tire super fort et puis que l'intensité de l'étirement est trop grande. Ça va avoir des effets néfastes plus tard. Donc, prenez votre temps. Ouvrez tranquillement. Get settled in to the point that you even feel that your bones are relaxed in this pose. It could be nice to stack a few blocks up or books or pillows, rest your heads. If not, elbows on your thighs, head in your hands is a nice option too. And once you've settled into your pose, you feel your shoulders are away and towards the back, that your heart is reaching forward. It's almost like you're having a staring contest with the tops of your toes. Nice long neck. Body is soft. Come back into your breathing. Connect your deep inhale all the way to the top. And that exhale to the bottom. You can even work like a wave. Peut-être à chaque fois que vous inspirez, vous vous soulevez un tout petit peu. Puis l'expiration vous laisse plonger un petit peu plus bas ou peut-être au même niveau. Comme une vague avec la respiration. Take an inhale and lift your spine a little bit. We're halfway there. Exhale, if you want, you can spider crawl your fingers a little bit further, maybe grab onto toes or ankles, whatever's available for you. Et maintenant, commencez à porter votre attention, votre conscience sur les endroits du corps où vous sentez vraiment la pause. Ça devrait commencer à l'arrière des cuisses, passer par le bas du dos, vers le haut. So if you're only feeling this in your lower back, then it's a perfect kind of indicator to let you know your body's letting you know, just bend your legs a bit. The stretch should start in the back of your thighs. And for the last part of the pose, go ahead and let your head hang. You can round your back, let your hands fall anywhere that they fall. Make your neck super heavy, let go of the weight of your head. And whatever you're holding on to, go ahead and let your hands flop on either side of your legs. With the help of your palms pressing down on the floor and no work from your back, keep your chin into your chest and walk yourself back upright. Push your hands into the ground. And then once you're up, you can flip your fingertips to the back. Puff your chest up, take a nice big inhale. And let it go out of your mouth. And go ahead and point and flex your toes, shake your legs out, maybe do some ankle rotations. Just like when we were in tabletop, don't think too much about it and do whatever you feel like your body needs right now. All right, go ahead and bend your legs. I'm going to invite you to come onto the long edge of your mat, maybe a little bit more simpler for this next pose. You won't need your pad. We're going to come into what's called 90-90. I'm going to start out with the right leg. Right leg is going to be bent in front of you, knee in line with your ankle, almost like at a 90-degree angle. It is 90-degree angle. Left leg is going to be bent behind you. You're going to try to line up your left knee with your left hip and your left ankle with your left knee. Fait que la position de 90-90, je vais le répéter en français. La jambe droite est pliée, le genou est au même niveau que la cheville, à un angle de 90 degrés. Même chose avec la jambe gauche. Vous avez la cuisse gauche, la hanche gauche en ligne avec le genou gauche, puis la cheville gauche en ligne avec le genou gauche. C'est ici qu'on a travaillé la mobilité, like the juiciness, the mobility of our hips. We do it a lot when we walk, we do it a lot when we work out, but we do oftentimes the same kinds of movements. So as we work in these next little exercises here, I want you to think less about trying to get height and depth and more about working with your front leg and working with your hips to find a little bit more mobility. So you're gonna start with your right leg, press it into the ground. Firmly press your right leg into the ground with hands on either side of your right leg. Take a nice long inhale and lift your heart up, stretch up. And then on your exhale, I want you to fold forward. Think of bringing your belly button towards your right calf and your heart reaches forward. The more you press that right leg down and pull that right leg hip back without moving it, the deeper stretch that you're gonna get. This is a nice opening. We'll open up before we do all of our work. Donc, un tout petit peu d'activation dans votre jambe droite, c'est elle qui vous aide à vous propulser vers l'avant pour vous aider à allonger le côté droit de la hanche, du dos, de tout le corps. And then come back to your deep breathing here before you move on to the different exercises. Inhaling all the way to the top. And then exhaling all the way till empty. And start to notice what's maybe firing up, what's calling to your attention in your body. What area? Those shoulders relaxed and the muscles in your face relaxed. Once again, with your hands pressing onto the ground, walk yourself back upright, continuously pushing that right shin and knee into the ground until you're nice and tall. All right, let's move on to our exercises. So there's two options for these. You can do them with your hands extended forward, like you're holding a block, or you can do them with either side, your hands on either side of your leg. Try one version, maybe switch to another. Just don't put too much pressure on yourself for it to be perfection. Remember, you're looking for mobility, less for strength. So the first exercise is going to be an external rotation. And you're going to be pressing your right leg into the ground. That's your foundation for this work. And now what we're going to be doing is rolling onto the left foot, trying to lift up the knee as much as you can. And you're going to bring it back down nice and slow, continuously pushing that right leg down. C'est intense, ça va avoir un petit peu des sensations bizarres. Faites ça à peu près 10 fois, soit sans les mains, soit avec les mains. Vous roulez sur le pied gauche, vous soulevez le genou gauche comme vous pouvez, puis redescendez avec contrôle. About 10 times, take your time with your breath. Shaking is good. Cramping is extremely normal. When our muscles cramp, it's a message to us that they're saying they're not used to that exercise. So keep going through it, take a break and breathe when you need. When you're done your 10, you can sit up nice and tall and just feel the difference in your hips. Le genou droit qui presse constamment vers le sol. C'est plus ça qui vous propulse, vous aide à soulever le genou gauche. And if you don't want to do 10, you're already tired, that's okay, take a break. And when you're done, you can leave your legs the way they are, but relax your right leg a bit. Feel the sensations. And notice your mind too, if it thought it was difficult or was not liking or liking the exercise. All right, next round. Encore une fois avec la jambe droite qui presse dans le sol. So that right leg still pushing into the ground. This time we're going to go for an internal rotation. And you're simply going to push that right leg down and then try to lift your left ankle up as much as you can. Hands on your side or not, about 10 times. Right leg is doing most of the work and you're trying to lift that left ankle up. And if you can't lift it up and you're trying to, and you're still doing the exercise. Que ça soit un orteil, le pied au complet, le bas de la jambe ou peut-être même pas. L'idée, c'est d'essayer de soulever à l'aide de la jambe droite. Keep breathing while you're doing this. And next time you're done, you're 10, leave your legs the way they are, just relax them. Before we go on, let's do a big breath in through the nose and let it out of your mouth. And if you just finished, do it again. Take a breath in through the nose and let it go out of your mouth. I'll give you a few more moments to finish. All right, let's take us into our next exercise for this leg. Last one, and then we have a little bit of a break. That right leg's nice and strong. Here we'll need a bit more of strength in our right leg and stamina. Hands on the ground or not, you're gonna be lifting the left leg and kicking out to the side, and kicking it back in. 10 fois. Go as slow as you can, trying to really work mobility here. You'll feel it. That right leg presses down. Try to keep your body up. I know it looks like Pilates, but it's really good. Could be Pilates, but it's good for yin. It's good for your hip mobility. It's good for your vinyasa practice to do these things. Make you much more aware of how you place your hips in your regular yoga pose, a yoga practice. Almost there. When you're done your 10, just let it go. And when you're finished everything, you can bring your hands behind you, extend your legs forward. Oh, it's gonna feel really good. Shake them out. Point and flex your toes. Notice the difference between your right and left side. It'll be quite obvious. One will feel like it's cramping. The other one will probably feel a bit like it's cramping too. Let's do some windshield wipers to just floss out the hips a little bit more. Feet a bit wider than hip width apart. Knock your knees to the right and to the left. Si ça fait du bien de rester sur un côté puis de respirer là, faites ça. Once again, it's like those little intuitive movements, even in the transitions. If it feels good to not move or to just stay in one spot, then you stay. Oof, I don't know about you guys, but I feel it on my right hip, right side, right glute. When you're ready, bring yourself into 90-90 on the different side, opposite side, so left. La jambe gauche va être pliée vers l'avant. Le genou gauche en ligne avec la cheville gauche. Pliez la jambe droite pour qu'elle soit en ligne avec votre hanche droite. La cheville droite en ligne avec votre genou droit. Switch sides, 90-90. The most, trying to get a 90-90 angle in both of your sides. You won't have both hips or both bum cheeks on the ground. That's all good. And let's start bringing awareness into the left leg now. Pressez la jambe gauche au sol. Puis sans la bouger, imaginez vouloir la tirer vers l'arrière. And this is a good thing to think about, even when you're, especially in your pigeon pose. You want to always be stabilizing that leg that's bent. So then you don't make your spine and pelvis crooked. So stabilize it into the ground. Take a nice long inhale, extend your spine. And exhale, walk yourself forward, belly button towards your left shin. Hands on the ground, heart reaches forward. And then play around in this pose. The more you see that you press your left bum down or left leg down and pull that hip back, you'll get into the little juiciness of the stretch. Even though you know what's coming on the next side and the exercises, and try to be in the present moment and simply follow your breath. You're right here, you haven't started moving yet. All you're doing is breathing. With the help of your hands, walk yourself back up and readjust if you need your left leg or your right. Bring awareness into that left leg and press it into the ground, feeling nice and strong. Option to have the hands on the mat or the hands forward if you feel like working in a little bit of a different way, more core. Today we're just looking to floss the hips. Press that left leg down, and about 10 times you're gonna roll onto your right foot, trying to lift that right knee as much as you can. And bring it back down with control. On va y aller pour à peu près 10 fois. Prenez des pauses quand vous voulez. Peut-être essayer de synchroniser vos mouvements avec votre respiration lorsque vous inspirez pour soulever. Inspirez pour descendre, ça va vous aider à contrôler le mouvement. And then notice if there's a bit of a harder side. This side may be a little bit more maybe difficult or more strenuous because we worked it on the opposite side. This was our stable leg. So you'll probably feel it now. When you're done your 10, you can relax back into your 90-90. In between sets, it'll probably feel really good to breathe in through the nose and exhale out of the mouth. So do that as many times as you want. All right, let's try the next direction. Fait que cette fois-ci, vous allez toujours être en train de presser dans le genou gauche, dans la jambe gauche. Activez-la. Vous voulez rouler sur le genou droit puis essayer de soulever la cheville droite autant que vous pouvez. Ça se peut que ce soit au complet comme ça, plus haut, moins haut. Restez pas stock sur à quelle hauteur vous pouvez aller. Juste travailler de pouvoir essayer de lever, de travailler sur votre rotation interne. We're always so much open, right? So this is a great exercise to work on the internal rotation. Poses like warriors, triangle. And then when you're done, once again, just chill out in 90-90, relax both your thighs, the bum muscles, let everything go. Expirez par la bouche quelques fois si ça vous fait du bien. All right. Let's get ready for our last side, our last exercise, and then we're gonna chill out. Once again, all that weight, activate that left leg, press it into the ground and pull it back towards you. With hands on the ground or hands not on the ground, you're gonna lift your right leg, kick out, then kick in. That's 10 times. Woo! All right. If it's too much and you wanna stop, stop. This one, you're probably really gonna feel it because we worked the right side so much before. When you're done, right away, get out of 90-90. Release your legs forward. If you're not done, it's okay, take your time. I'll meet you here where your legs are extended. Ah, ça va faire du bien de juste les shaker. Pointez, fléchissez vos pieds, faites des rotations dans vos chevilles. Encore une fois, des essuie-glaces, ça peut être super nice après un étirement comme ça, après des exercices comme ça. Donc, laissez les jambes tomber de droite à gauche. C'est confortable de rester à un endroit, restez là. C'est confortable de ne pas bouger du tout. Faites ça aussi. With both feet onto the ground and your legs bent, let's do a little bear pose just to relieve that. So you're gonna walk your heels in as close to you as possible. Legs kind of wide as like in a squat. Hold on to your knees, maybe in the nook of your elbows, and just squeeze yourself upright, nice and tall. And let's let that go and make your way slowly into a tabletop. All done. Let's bring it into the chill part of our class. So that was your first time doing some 90-90 work. Good job. That's stuff that not necessarily it should be done every day, but should be done quite often, especially because we sit a lot, we externally rotate a lot, and if you practice a lot of vinyasa, this is really good, something really good for you to do. Basculez comme vous voulez, peut-être des cercles avec les hanches, surtout après cet étirement-là. Ça peut faire beaucoup de bien. Don't think too much about it. Move around with however you feel for a few breaths. And we're done with that stuff, so let go. Let's do a little transition of child's pose. I'll leave it up to you. You can have your knees wide apart or closer together. Sit back onto your heels or some pillows or blocks if your bum doesn't touch your heels. Arms can be straight in front of you, or if you're looking for something different, maybe behind you, shoulders drop forward. Prenez un petit instant ici avec la tête au sol pour encore une fois, juste laisser tout ce qui est tension, stress, sortir de la tête, couler dans le sol. Relaxer les hanches, puis les cuisses. And then you can slowly roll your forehead from right to left, opening up all the meridians, all the chakras. And then slowly bring yourself back into your tabletop. Place the knees underneath the hips and the hands underneath the shoulders. And we'll give our hips a break, and we're gonna come work on our heart and shoulders. So reach that right arm up as you take a breath in. And then breath out, weave that right arm underneath the left. And you can rest your right temple or the side of your head on the ground. And if your head doesn't touch the ground, and maybe you have some pillows, blankets, or just using your hand, rest your head on your hands. Think of continuously reaching those right fingertips towards the left and even pressing the back of your right hand onto the ground. Meridians, they travel up the front and the inside of your arms, but all the way to your fingertips. So when you press them down, you activate them. Relax that right shoulder as much as you can. And your left hand, it's up to you. It can reach forward at the top of your mat, or you can bind, bringing your right arm back and holding on to maybe your right hip or your right thigh. Maybe take a few breaths at the beginning to press the hand down and wake up the heart and lung meridians. And then once you feel good in the pose and you're nice and relaxed, let that go and breathe. Si vous êtes allé ailleurs, si vous vous attrapez dans d'autres pensées, ramenez-vous à où vous êtes. Pressez votre main au sol pour vous rappeler que vous êtes dans une pause. Engagez-vous à suivre 2 ou 3 souffles. Puis répétez au besoin pour vous garder présent. If your left hand is in a bind or if it's at the front of your mat, go ahead and bring it back in front of your face. Press into your left hand and then take a breath in as you lift your right arm back up towards the sky. Open up. Maybe you suspend for a bit. And then exhale, right hand down, move around with how you need or simply stay still. Feel that in your body. The right shoulder, the right arm. On va y aller de l'autre côté cette fois-ci. Avec la main gauche, prenez une inspiration, soulevez le bras gauche vers le ciel. Et expirez. Vous allez ramener la main gauche en dessous du bras droit. Venez porter l'oreille gauche au sol ou le temple gauche. Si ça ne touche pas, prenez des oreillers, prenez peut-être la main droite, faites un point pour que la tête soit reposée. Tirez les doigts de la main vers la droite. Faites un point de presser le dos de votre main au sol. Relaxez l'épaule gauche. Puis essayez de prendre la même option que vous avez faite sur le premier côté. Donc, si le bras était vers l'avant, laissez-le vers l'avant. Si vous l'avez amené à l'arrière, vous pouvez attraper la cuisse gauche ou la hanche gauche. And as you settle in, oftentimes in this pose, I take a little bit of time and then I observe my neck. And I try to feel if my neck is long. And most of the time I have my chin pointing up. So bring your awareness to your back of your neck or to your chin and see where your chin is pointing. See if you can keep it leveled with your chest. So the back of your neck is nice and long. Si vous avez la main gauche vers l'arrière ou vers l'avant, main droite, pardon, vers l'arrière ou l'avant de votre tapis, ramenez-la devant votre visage. Laissez la main au sol, puis inspirez, soulevez le bras gauche vers le ciel, ouvrez le corps. Faites-vous rester en suspension un instant. Expirez, ramenez la main gauche au sol. Move around or stay still. I'll give us a little bit of time in between, just to feel. If you feel some tingling, that could be normal. We activated some meridians. Pressing the back of the hand down can have that effect. Let's continue moving into the chest and the heart and bring ourselves into melting heart or puppy pose. The idea in this pose is to really keep the hips above the knees. Fait que vous avez peut-être pas de miroir, mais essayez de garder les hanches, ou si vous en avez un, perfect, vous pouvez vous voir, mais les hanches par-dessus les genoux quand on va aller dans cette pose-là. Marchez les mains vers l'avant du tapis. I like to have my hands towards the corners of my mat, but if you like them straight ahead, kind of like in child's pose, it's up to you. You'll feel it in your shoulder girdle, what's right for you. And you can rest your head down onto the mat. And this is where it's kind of like important to have the hips over the knees. If you bring them forward or back, try to rock and find that right place. If your forehead doesn't hit the ground, then that's where I invite you to place some blocks, some pillows, maybe even stack your hands. They don't have to be straight ahead. Un petit peu d'activation au niveau du ventre, le nombril vers la colonne, juste pour protéger le bas du dos. L'ouverture se fait dans les côtés du corps, à l'intérieur des bras, la poitrine. You sit and type a lot or just sit. I've been sitting a lot in the last few days. This should feel really, really nice. And if you're used to melting heart and you love to practice this pose, then you have the option of bringing maybe your nose and your mouth to the mat, or maybe your chin and your throat. Head could be just fine. Dans cette pose ici, imaginez juste de laisser votre cœur, votre poitrine plonger vers le sol, vers votre tapis. And bring your awareness to observing right here if you're kind of pushing or pulling. Can you release a bit and still find your edge? Still find that perfect sensation where you can hold, breathe perfectly without compromising your nice breath cycle, and still feel a good stretch. À peu près 5 respirations encore. If you're on your chin or onto your nose and mouth, bring yourself back onto your forehead. Amenez vos mains en dessous des épaules and press yourself back up into a tabletop. And from tabletop, simply sit back onto your heels at your incisa. Be gentle with your head. Close your eyes. And take a little moment here. Feel the tingling. And let's do that little breathing exercise one more time. Exhale completely. Inhale for the count of 4. You'll hold your breath for the count of 2. Exhale for 4. And hold for 2. À votre propre rythme, vous inspirez pour 4. Retenez pour 2. Expirez pour 4. Puis retenez pour 2. When you finish your next cycle of that exercise, come back to regular breathing. And you can keep your eyes closed or open them. Just sit onto your favorite side. Extend your legs. Bring yourself to lie down on your mat. Prenez votre temps pour vous allonger vers le sol. And get comfortable. If you have a ponytail, maybe take out your ponytail. We're not going into Shavasana yet, but we still want to be comfortable. Once you're lying down onto the ground, press into your feet, readjust your hips, push into your head, readjust your shoulders. Let your whole body go. Feel your back body get even deeper into the mat. And then feel how nice it is to not have to do any work at all. Just let go. With your eyes closed right here, on va détendre le cou, le visage, avec des drôles de faces en fait. So you're just gonna open up your mouth really, really wide. Stick out your tongue, move your tongue from right to left. Bougez la mâchoire de droite à gauche. Faites des drôles de visage. Ouvrez grand les yeux, fermez les yeux. Relâchez un bâillement. Let out an exhale. Let's do that for a few moments. Really get rid of any kind of tension in the neck, in the face. Doesn't look like it, but it can hold so much there. So if we release that, then it trickles down our whole body, all the way to our toes. So let it go. Make a funny face. Stick your tongue as wide out as you can. Move your jaw as much as you can. Let it yawn. Then come back to center. Come back to neutral. Avec le visage relax. La langue décollée du palais. La mâchoire douce. Right. Bend your legs and place your feet onto the floor. And you may need to readjust hips and shoulders when you do this, so go ahead and move around like you need to. And we'll end with an easy kind of twist. So you're gonna cross your right leg over the left. And just crossing your right leg over the left, you'll probably feel some of that effect from the 90-90 work that you did. Relax your hips, relax your bum. Push into the left foot and lift your hips off of your mat. And bring your hips all the way to the right side of your mat and back down. Let your knees fall towards the left. If your knees hit the ground, that's perfect. And if they don't, then you can use with your left hand a little bit of help, or you can even stack some pillows or blocks underneath. The right arms are gonna open up into a T. Palms are facing the sky. Push into the back of your head and scoot your right shoulder down and shoulder blade down into the center. Almost like you're flat onto your back. And if that's not the case, just guide it there. Option to have your eyes open or close up towards the ceiling, or maybe turn your head to the right for the full twist. And do that little step there of bringing awareness into your body and see if you can release those spots that are still active, that are still working. Relax the hips, thighs and bum, fingers and toes. And send that breath deep into your belly. It's always nice to end your practice with a supine twist, especially a yin practice. These are great to do maybe before bed, and you'll feel the effect when we come out of it a little bit more relaxed. The body's a lot softer. And it's almost as if you don't even need to think about relaxing. It happens on its own. A few more deep breaths. All right, if you were looking towards the right, bring your eyes back to center. Release your legs and bring them back to center. Undo the bind. Bring your body back to neutral. Let an exhale out of the mouth and just feel your body. Feel your right side and feel your left. Dernier côté. Cette fois-ci, croisez votre jambe gauche par-dessus la droite. Un croisement quand même assez chill. Pas besoin de faire un bind ou faire comme dans l'aigle. Relax la jambe gauche. Pressez dans la jambe droite, soulevez vos hanches. Ramenez-les du côté gauche du tapis, puis déposez-les. Ouvrez les bras en T, les paumes vers le ciel. Laissez les genoux tomber vers la droite, au sol ou non. En pressant dans l'arrière de la tête, ramenez l'épaule gauche, l'omoplate gauche vers le centre. Vous avez l'option de placer peut-être des blocs ou des lits, des coussins en dessous de vos genoux. Ou bien utiliser la main droite pour aider avec ça. Gardez la tête vers le ciel, vers le haut, ou bien tournez le cou vers la gauche pour compléter votre twist. Vous êtes sûrement dans un état de relaxation. Pour une dernière fois, venez observer votre corps, puis venez relâcher aux endroits qui peuvent être adoucis. Respirez profondément dans le bas du ventre. Puis suivez le rythme de votre souffle. Ramenez votre tête vers le centre si elle était tournée. Ramenez les genoux vers le centre, décroisez les jambes. Ramenez-vous à un dos neutre, les pieds au sol. And now you should feel that little difference after the twist. Cette espèce de... comme une relaxation intense. Like everything has settled down. You can bend your legs into your chest, maybe hold on to each of your knees or give yourself a squeeze. Roll from right to left if that feels good, or simply stay in the center. And then I invite you to extend your legs up towards the sky. Give almost like a generous bend into your legs. And just let your legs float upside down. You can feel good if you want to move your ankles or your toes here. This is a nice way to not only give your legs a break, change the blood flow, gives your feet such a good break. And bring those knees into your chest. Laissez les pieds tomber sur le tapis. Allongez les jambes. Get set up for your Shavasana. If you have pillows, you can place them underneath your knees. They could feel quite nice. Maybe use the blanket or the towel to kind of shield you or warm you on top of you. Set yourself up. Feet as wide as your mat. Press your head into the ground and readjust your shoulders. Pressez les pieds au sol, rajoutez vos hanches. Puis déposez-vous. Melt into this position. Relax the muscles in your face, especially the jaw and tongue. Soften your cheeks and let your fingers curl in. Imaginez-vous, vous laissez tomber, vous laissez fondre dans le sol, presque bercé par le sol. Laissez-vous aller. Laissez aller le contrôle de votre souffle ou l'observation du corps et de la respiration. Simplement relaxer. Just relax. Let yourself go. This final moment after all that opening and joint work, fascia and meridian activation. This is where you just let go. L'endroit où vous recevez tous les bénéfices mental, physique, mais surtout les bénéfices pour le mental. Un espace où est-ce qu'on laisse aller ce qu'on n'a plus besoin pour régénérer. Relax and reset right here.
Very slowly, turn over onto your right side. Tournez-vous sur le côté droit. Gardez vos yeux fermés, menton vers la poitrine. And with the help of your left hand, slowly press yourself up, keeping your head super heavy. It's the last thing to come up as you bring yourself into a meditation seat. We'll end where we started off. Gardez les yeux fermés. Retrouvez votre position. Laissez votre corps fondre. Une fois que vous êtes rendu là, suivez 5 cycles de respiration. Follow 5 breaths. Those luxurious breaths where you breathe into the top and then you exhale all the way to empty. You can bring your hands to your heart if you wish, if it's part of your practice. And take a little bit of time here to remind yourself of what your intention was. Donnez un petit peu d'attention sur votre intention. And then bring your thumbs up to your third eye in the middle of your brow. A little moment of gratitude for whatever you wish, something that you are grateful for. Thank you so much for joining me or tuning into your yin practice this evening, afternoon, evening. I hope your hips are a little happy this week and that you feel nice and relaxed and open. Merci d'avoir été là, merci d'avoir participé de votre énergie virtuellement. Namaste tout le monde.